Have you ever tossed some beets into your salad, blended them into a smoothie, or roasted them for dinner thinking you were making a smart and healthy choice? You're not alone. Beets have long been celebrated as one of nature's most powerful superfoods, and for good reason. They're bursting with antioxidants, fiber, folate, and natural nitrates that support heart health, sharpen brain function, and even boost athletic performance. They aid liver detoxification, improve circulation, and help maintain steady energy levels throughout the day. On paper, they sound like the ultimate health hack, right? But here's the surprising truth. While beets are undeniably nutritious, many people are unknowingly reducing, or even canceling out, their benefits through small but common mistakes. Often, it's not about whether you eat beets, but how you prepare, combine, and consume them. Ever wondered why your beets sometimes taste overly bitter, metallic, or leave you feeling heavy instead of energized? Or why that vibrant beet juice doesn't quite deliver the stamina boost you expected? The answer may lie in simple habits you haven't realized are working against you. That's exactly what we're diving into today. In this video, we'll uncover 12 common mistakes people make when eating beets. Some of them might sound minor, but they can make a huge difference in how your body absorbs nutrients and responds to this powerful root vegetable. In fact, mistake number 2 could be dangerous if overlooked, and it's one that most people don't even realize they're making. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to get the maximum benefits from every beet you eat. But before we start, do us a quick favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to join our growing health community. And type yes in the comments if you want to see more science-backed videos like this. Now let's begin. Before we get into the mistakes, let's pause to appreciate just how nutrient-dense beets really are. These vibrant root vegetables aren't just colorful garnishes. They're nutrient powerhouses that can profoundly impact your health. Beets are naturally rich in nitrates, compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide. This process relaxes and widens blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and increases the delivery of oxygen to vital organs, including your brain. The result: better heart health, improved stamina, and even sharper mental focus. They're also a fantastic source of dietary fiber, which keeps your digestion running smoothly, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. This, in turn, strengthens your immune system, reduces inflammation, and helps regulate weight. Beets owe their striking deep red and purple hues to betalains, powerful plant pigments with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds neutralize harmful free radicals, reduce oxidative stress, and protect tissues from cellular damage. Research even suggests they may slow down tumor growth and support liver detoxification. And that's not all. Beets deliver an impressive collection of vitamins and minerals. Folate, vital for DNA repair and red blood cell production. Manganese, which supports bone strength, metabolism, and nerve function. Potassium and magnesium, essential for heart rhythm, blood pressure, and muscle function. Iron, critical for oxygen transport in the blood. Vitamin C, which strengthens immunity and collagen production. Vitamin B6, necessary for brain development and neurotransmitter regulation. Even a small dose of plant-based protein, which helps with tissue repair and satiety. This unique nutritional profile makes beets a true multitasker in your diet, energizing your body, cleansing your liver, supporting your heart, and fueling your cells with what they need to thrive. Top 12 mistakes you should never make when eating beets. Mistake number 12: throwing away the peel. If you peel your beets before cooking or eating them, you may be stripping away some of their most valuable nutrients. The outer skin of a beet might look tough or earthy, but it's loaded with betalains, those very same antioxidants responsible for the beet's vibrant color and protective health benefits. These compounds are concentrated near the surface, which means peeling beets can significantly reduce their antioxidant power. Beyond that, the peel is a hidden source of fiber, which promotes digestion, slows the release of sugar into the bloodstream, and helps you feel fuller for longer. By discarding the skin, you lose not only fiber but also trace minerals like magnesium and potassium, both crucial for cardiovascular and nerve health. The good news is you don't have to eat dirty beets. A simple scrub under running water with a vegetable brush is enough to remove soil and impurities while keeping the nutrient-packed peel intact. When cooked, whether boiled, roasted, or steamed, The skin softens and becomes tender. And if you still dislike the texture, you can easily slip it off after boiling. So the next time you're tempted to peel, remember, leaving the skin on means saving time, boosting nutrition, and keeping those valuable antioxidants exactly where they belong, on your plate and in your body. Mistake number 11, not using seasonings. One reason many people shy away from beets is their naturally earthy flavor. On their own, they can taste bland, overpowering, or even metallic. But this doesn't mean beets can't be delicious. It simply means you're not seasoning them properly. Beets, much like potatoes or grains, benefit tremendously from complementary flavors. A splash of lemon juice or balsamic vinegar can brighten their sweetness and cut through their earthiness. A drizzle of olive oil, paired with sea salt and black pepper, enhances their natural flavor while improving the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients like vitamin A and vitamin E. Want to elevate them even more? Fresh herbs like rosemary, thyme, or dill add aroma and complexity to roasted or steamed beets. Spices such as cumin, coriander, or paprika provide warmth and depth, while garlic introduces a bold contrast to their natural sweetness. And don't forget, seasoning isn't just about taste. It can also influence nutrition. Adding healthy fats like olive oil helps your body absorb antioxidants such as carotenoids, while acidic ingredients like vinegar may aid in digestion and blood sugar control. Even in smoothies or juices, a touch of ginger, citrus, or mint can balance flavors and enhance digestion. The bottom line? Beets are far from boring. With the right seasonings, they can go from earthy and plain to complex, flavorful, and downright addictive, transforming not just your meals but also your motivation to keep eating them regularly. Mistake 10. Using old, wrinkled beets. When it comes to beets, freshness isn't just a matter of taste. It's also a matter of nutrition. If you're cooking with soft, shriveled, or wrinkled beets, you're not only sacrificing flavor, but also losing out on the very nutrients that make this root vegetable so valuable. Fresh beets should be firm, smooth-skinned, and deeply colored. As beets age, they begin to lose moisture, which causes the skin to wrinkle and the flesh to dry out. Inside, the texture may turn woody or rubbery, and the flavor becomes bland or earthy in an unpleasant way. More importantly, essential vitamins, especially vitamin C and folate, are highly sensitive to air, light, and time. That means an older beet offers far fewer antioxidants and immune-boosting benefits compared to one that's freshly harvested. So how do you choose the best ones? Opt for small to medium-sized beets, as these are naturally sweeter and more tender. Avoid oversized beets, which can be tough and fibrous. Check the skin. It should be taut, not sagging, and free of bruises or cracks. If the greens are still attached, that's a bonus. They should look crisp and bright, not wilted or yellowing. At home, always remove the greens before storing. Otherwise, they draw moisture from the root and make it shrivel faster. Store your beets in the fridge crisper drawer or a cool, dark place to keep them firm, fresh, and nutrient-rich. Remember, fresh beets equal better taste, better texture, and better nutrition. Mistake 9, discarding the greens. If you've been tossing out beet greens, you've been throwing away one of the most nutrient-dense parts of the plant. Those leafy tops aren't just edible. They're a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals that rival, and sometimes surpass, popular greens like spinach and kale. Beet greens are loaded with calcium, iron, magnesium, and vitamin K, all of which are essential for bone health, blood clotting, and energy production. They also provide generous amounts of vitamin A and vitamin C, which support eye health, skin repair, and immune defense. In fact, gram for gram, beet greens can be more nutritious than the root itself. Nutritionally, beet greens are also rich in antioxidants and dietary fiber. These compounds help lower inflammation, improve digestion, and even regulate blood sugar. Unlike the root, which is higher in natural sugars, beet greens are low in calories and carbohydrates, making them perfect for anyone watching blood sugar or trying to lose weight. How to use them? Sauté with garlic and olive oil for a quick, nutrient-packed side dish. Add to soups, stews, or even omelets. Blend into smoothies for a fresh, green nutrient boost. Chop raw young leaves into salads for a tender, mildly earthy flavor. Always wash them thoroughly to remove dirt, and store them separately from the beetroot to keep them from wilting. Bottom line, don't toss the tops. Beet greens are nutritional gold. Mistake 8. Forgetting salt during cooking. One of the simplest but most overlooked steps in cooking beets is adding salt to the water. It might sound minor, but skipping this step can leave your beets tasting flat and underwhelming. Salt doesn't just season the outside. It penetrates during cooking, helping to draw out and balance the natural earthy sweetness of the beet. Just like boiling pasta in unsalted water leaves it bland, the same applies to beets. A light touch of salt early on creates a more even, satisfying flavor throughout the vegetable, rather than just seasoning the surface afterward. There's also a texture benefit. Salt in the cooking water helps the beets maintain firmness and structure, which is especially useful if you plan to roast or store them afterward. You don't need much. Just 1/2 to 1 teaspoon per pot is enough to make a noticeable difference. For those watching sodium intake, consider natural salts like Himalayan pink salt or sea salt in moderation. These often provide trace minerals like magnesium and potassium that standard table salt lacks. In short, seasoning the cooking water is a tiny adjustment that transforms both the taste and texture of your beets. Mistake 7. Wasting canned beet liquid. If you've ever cracked open a can of beets and poured that deep red liquid straight down the drain, you've unknowingly thrown away a source of nutritional value. That liquid isn't just tinted water. It contains vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that naturally leach from the beets during the canning process. One of the most important compounds in this liquid is betalain, the same antioxidant pigment that gives beets their vibrant red color. Betalains support liver detoxification, antioxidant defense, and anti-inflammatory responses. The liquid also contains small amounts of potassium, folate, and magnesium, nutrients that support heart health, nerve function, and muscle maintenance. Yes, canned beet liquid can carry some sodium, especially if packed in salted brine. But if you choose low sodium or no added salt varieties, it can be a healthy addition to your meals. Ways to use it. Stir into soups or stews for a nutrient and color boost. Add to smoothies for extra antioxidants. Mix into salad dressings, sauces, or even homemade hummus. Use as a natural food dye in baking for a unique color. Instead of wasting it, think of beet liquid as an added bonus ingredient. It's an easy way to squeeze even more nutrition from what you're already eating. Mistake 6. Not blanching canned beets. If you've ever opened a can of beets, taken a bite, and noticed a strange metallic or slightly tinny taste, don't worry. Your taste buds aren't failing you. That metallic edge is a byproduct of the canning process. When beets are sealed in metal containers, sometimes with added preservatives or salty brine, small traces of that metal can subtly influence their flavor over time. While it's harmless, it can dull the natural sweetness and earthy character of beets. The good news: there's a quick fix: blanching. All you need to do is bring a pot of water to a gentle boil, drop in the canned beets, and let them simmer for just 1 to 2 minutes. This simple step neutralizes the metallic aftertaste by rinsing off those residual compounds, instantly brightening the flavor and allowing the beets' natural sweetness to shine through. Blanching doesn't rob the beets of their nutritional value either. Their fiber, folate, and antioxidant pigments, like betalains, remain intact, especially if you keep the boiling time short. This technique is especially useful if you plan to serve beets cold in salads, where any metallic notes are more noticeable. Even if you're roasting, sautéing, or blending them into smoothies later, blanching first makes them more pleasant to eat. Think of it as a tiny extra step that transforms canned beets from just okay into something vibrant and satisfying. Mistake 5. Avoiding canned beets altogether. It's easy to assume that fresh produce is always superior, but dismissing canned beets entirely means missing out on convenience without really gaining much in terms of nutrition. Canned beets have earned a bad reputation, yet in reality, they remain a fantastic, reliable option, especially when you're short on time, cooking for a busy household, or shopping in a season when fresh beets aren't available. Nutritionally, canned beets still deliver a powerful punch. They retain most of the same fiber, folate, potassium, iron, and antioxidant compounds that fresh beets offer. Betalains, the pigments responsible for their deep red-purple color, survive the canning process and continue to support heart health, fight inflammation, and assist the body's detoxification pathways. The main drawback with canned beets is often the sodium content. Some brands preserve their beets in salty brine, which can add up quickly and work against your health goals. Thankfully, this is easily solved. Simply rinsing canned beets under cold water removes much of the excess sodium without affecting their taste or texture. Alternatively, you can shop for low-sodium or no-salt-added varieties, which are increasingly easy to find. Best of all, canned beets are already cooked, which cuts your prep time dramatically. They're versatile too. You can toss them into salads, blend them into smoothies, roast them for extra depth, or heat them quickly as a side dish. So, rather than avoiding canned beets, learn to use them wisely. They can be just as nutritious and often far more convenient than their fresh counterparts. Mistake 4. Only boiling beets. If boiling is your only go-to cooking method, you're selling beets short. While boiling is common and perfectly safe, it's not the most flavorful or nutrient-preserving option. When peeled beets are boiled, water-soluble nutrients like vitamin C and folate can leach into the cooking water, slightly lowering their nutritional value. The result? A softer texture and a blander flavor profile compared to other methods. To unlock their full potential, try roasting beets in the oven. Roasting caramelizes their natural sugars, intensifying sweetness and creating a deep, earthy complexity that boiling simply can't match. Just scrub them clean, wrap them in foil, or place them in a covered baking dish at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius until tender. Once done, their skins slip off effortlessly if you prefer them peeled. Grilling is another excellent method. Slice the beets into rounds, brush lightly with olive oil, and grill until they develop a smoky, caramelized finish. Pair them with fresh herbs or a tangy vinaigrette, and you'll discover a whole new dimension of flavor. And don't forget raw beets. Grated into salads or slaws, they add crunch, vibrant color, and a slightly sweet freshness, all while retaining their entire nutritional profile. Raw beets are especially rich in antioxidants since none are lost to heat. By varying your cooking methods, roasting, grilling, steaming, juicing, or even serving them raw, you not only keep meals exciting, but also ensure you're experiencing beets in their most flavorful and nutrient-rich forms. Mistake 3. Poor storage. The way you store your beets can completely change how long they last, how fresh they stay, and even how many nutrients they retain. One of the most common mistakes people make is leaving the leafy greens attached after purchase. While they look beautiful, those greens are still living plant material and will keep pulling water and nutrients out of the beetroot. This process causes the beet to shrivel, soften, and lose both texture and nutritional value much faster than it should. The solution is simple. When you bring fresh beets home, trim off the leafy tops immediately, leaving about an inch of stem to protect the root from bleeding. Once trimmed, store the unwashed beets in a breathable produce bag or container inside your refrigerator's crisper drawer. Stored this way, beets can stay fresh for up to 3 weeks or sometimes longer. If your beets are already cooked, they should be transferred to an airtight container and refrigerated, where they'll last for about 5 days. Bought more than you can eat in time. Freezing is an excellent option. To do this, cook the beets first, either by boiling or roasting. Then let them cool, peel them, and cut into slices or cubes. Once packed into freezer-safe containers or bags, they'll keep for several months without major loss of flavor, texture, or nutrition. And don't forget about the greens. Many people throw them away, but beet greens are highly nutritious and can be eaten like spinach or kale. To keep them fresh, store them separately in a bag with a paper towel to absorb excess moisture, and use them within 2 to 3 days. Poor storage doesn't just waste food. It also wastes nutrients, money, and flavor. A little care goes a long way in making sure your beets stay crisp, sweet, and nutrient-packed. Mistake 2. Not using beets in desserts. At first, the idea of adding beets to dessert might seem odd, but once you try it, you'll be amazed at the results. One of the most overlooked uses of beets is in sweet dishes. Because they are naturally sweet, moist, and packed with beneficial compounds, they make an excellent substitute or complement for traditional dessert ingredients. Beets pair especially well with cocoa. When pureed and added to recipes like brownies, chocolate cakes, muffins, or even pancakes, they add a deep, earthy sweetness that enhances chocolate flavor beautifully. Beyond taste, they also bring a soft, moist texture to baked goods without relying on large amounts of oil, butter, or refined sugar. Nutritionally, this swap is a powerhouse. By adding beet puree to desserts, you boost your intake of fiber, folate, iron, and antioxidants while reducing the need for processed sugar. Plus, the vibrant red-purple pigment gives desserts a naturally rich and appealing color without artificial dyes. The best part, most people won't even realize there are vegetables hidden in their dessert. It's a clever way to sneak more nutrition into the diets of picky eaters or kids. Another benefit of baking with beets is reducing food waste. If you've roasted or juiced beets and have leftovers, using the puree in baked goods is an easy, delicious way to repurpose them. So if you've only been using beets in salads, soups, or side dishes, it's time to experiment. Your sweet tooth and your health might be pleasantly surprised. Mistake number 1: eating expired canned beets. This mistake may sound like common sense, but it happens more often than you'd think, and the consequences can be dangerous. Canned foods are designed for long-term storage, but that doesn't mean they're immune to spoilage. Over time, even sealed cans can degrade. The protective lining inside may break down, causing harmful chemicals to leach into the food or allowing bacteria to enter if the seal is compromised. When this happens, the risk of foodborne illness skyrockets, including life-threatening conditions such as botulism, a rare but severe form of food poisoning that attacks the nervous system. That's why it's critical to do more than just glance at the printed expiration date. Always inspect the can itself. If you see bulging, rust, deep dents, or leaks, don't take chances. Discard it immediately. These are clear warning signs that the contents may be unsafe. Even if the can appears normal, be cautious when opening it. A loud hiss, bubbling liquid, or an unusual odor should be treated as red flags. And here's the golden rule. Never taste food to check if it's spoiled. Just throw it out. No meal is worth risking your health. For safe storage, keep canned beets in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight or heat sources that can accelerate spoilage. Once opened, always transfer leftovers to a clean, airtight glass or BPA-free plastic container and refrigerate promptly. Consume within 3 to 5 days for maximum safety and freshness. By following these simple precautions, you'll continue to enjoy the convenience and nutrition of canned beets without putting your health at risk. Who should be careful eating beets? Beets are often celebrated as a nutritional powerhouse, but like many potent superfoods, they're not ideal for everyone. Certain health conditions call for caution. Kidney stones. Beets are naturally high in oxalates, compounds that can bind to calcium and promote the formation of kidney stones. For individuals prone to oxalate-based stones, regular consumption of beets may increase the risk. If you have a history of kidney stones, consult your doctor or dietitian before adding them frequently to your diet. Low blood pressure. Thanks to their rich nitrate content, beets relax and widen blood vessels, helping lower blood pressure naturally. While this is beneficial for most people, those who already have low blood pressure may experience dizziness, fatigue, or fainting if their blood pressure drops too low. Diabetes and blood sugar control. Beets contain natural sugars, which can cause blood sugar spikes, especially when cooked or juiced. This doesn't mean people with diabetes must avoid them, but portion control is key. Pairing beets with a source of protein, fiber, or healthy fat can help slow sugar absorption and prevent rapid glucose fluctuations. Chronic health conditions and medications. If you're managing ongoing health concerns, particularly related to kidneys, blood sugar, or blood pressure, or if you're taking medications in these areas, it's wise to check with your healthcare provider before making beets a daily staple. Beets can be an incredible ally for your health, boosting circulation, supporting liver detox, and fueling your body with antioxidants. But to truly benefit, you need to handle them wisely. Store them correctly, watch for spoilage, and be mindful if you fall into one of the groups that need extra caution. Used the right way, beets are not just food. They're a natural medicine cabinet in disguise. But used carelessly, they can carry risks that outweigh their rewards. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical, science-backed health tips. Have a question or personal experience with beets? Share it in the comments. We love hearing from you. And don't stop here. We've handpicked 2 more videos to keep you learning. Click on one, and we'll meet you there. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.